Sometimes I lie awake at night thinking maybe I was a little unfair to the Douk Douk in my original review. As you know, I accidentally bought the smaller Double Douk when a larger, almost the same price one existed. Well, let me amend that review slightly and do a quick comparison review that's only slightly less unfair. In order to not waste any more of your precious internet time, let's look at the dimensions of this 2 sans blue lines dimension segment, because in comparisons, this is how we do it. Like the overall length and weight. Both are very lightweight knives, lighter than most modern social media tactical blades, and thin too. The lanyard loop is not included in the overall length. Blade size, cutting edge. If you don't live in an area with judgy, less tactical coworkers or less tactical knife laws, go big. That's what I'd say. Blade is made from a rust-curious carbon steel. Lube your rust-curious knives to prevent rust. Handle size, grip area. Again, the loop isn't included. I know that's hard to understand. A loop is a blank canvas for social media paracord and bead masterpieces, by the way. Spine thickness, handle thickness. The handles, while not thick, are still pretty stout. Which brings us, I think, to the tallness part. And then I think we're done with the whole dimensions segment. The construction of the 2 Douk Douks seen here are pretty much identical, as are the charming old-world back-alley murder aesthetics. The blade on the larger Douk x2 gives you slightly less crowded, let's call it vine artwork. And on the larger one, you have a full made in France sentence, whereas it's just France on the smaller one. So I guess that's a good way to identify it in pictures. Both have carbon steel blades that rust and darken if you leave moisture unattended on them for mere minutes. Light coats of mineral oil or 3-in-1 oil help prevent corrosion. And contrary to non-knife persons' assertions that blades that rust suck, that's not true. It just happens to be the properties of the steel. I only bring that up because people sometimes say that I had this knife and it rusted, so it's terrible. The handle between the two is just a simple piece of rigid folded steel. There isn't much flex to the steel. The blade is a harder than average pull for a non-locking slip joint. It's a 2-stage motion, grab with both fingers, pull, you get the stop, and then pull more, and then it's open. Now to close, I like to hold the handle, move my fingers up front, push downward. You get that second stop so it's not going to close on your fingers. Or sorry, the first stop. Don't want to confuse you. And then the rest of the way. It's a 2-handed open and closed. Handle is okay, comfortable. It's not sharp on the inside edges of the handle, but I'd have held more comfortable knives. Alright, quick size comparison. Large and small. The larger is preferable and more useful. Both are very stout, rigid knives. About as, quote, hard use as you can get in a non-locking knife. I prefer the handle grip and the extra 1/2 inch of the larger Douk squared. If you had to buy one, I would buy the larger one, personally. The loop on the back of the small one is also slightly smaller. These knives are friendlier for drier conditions. If you mind the moisture that sits on your blade and you bring your lube, you should be fine. Let's look at a Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This knife has a pocket clip, has a more corrosion-resistant blade, costs about $140, is easy one-handed opening and closing, and other than the price, this is what I would choose to carry every day. And I do. I understand the price is more expensive, but you can choose whatever you want. Optional number 8 now. It's wooden, probably less robust if you tend to treat your knives like shit. Sometimes I do. Let's look at the Mercator. This is a locking knife. I like it. And thanks to all the people who pointed out, you can now get the pocket clip version for cheap right here in the US for about $30. If you just type in Mercator pocket clip, it's like Harry and something, Harry Nilsson, Harry and the Hendersons. I don't know what the website's called, but it has Harry in it somewhere. Carbon steel blade, 2. Are we done? Not if we haven't batoned, we're not, right? I think that was a grave oversight in the original Douk video, which you should watch after this one because I'll link it right at the end. This is a pretty tough knife, and it's a pretty reasonable knife for $30. It's a little unique, kind of cool. Not for people with weak hands or people who are scared of knives, because again, it is a harder open and close than a standard slip joint knife. Anyway, if you like these sorts of reviews, comparisons, check out my other videos, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, follow me on the Instagrams, leave a comment, donate to my Patreon. Thanks for watching.